Well, good evening, everyone. It's nice to see so many people here this evening. Every year, I am very grateful for the opportunity to stand here in person and share some of the wonderful work on behalf of all of the staff at Thornell Road with you. I would like to begin by first recognizing the entire Thornell Road family. The picture that I have on the first slide there really captures the essence. A school is not a building. A school is made up of all the people inside it. And I'd just like to recognize the Thornell Road family for believing in and demonstrating that teamwork really does make our dream work. And it is a privilege coming to work every day and working with such an amazing group of people who are truly dedicated to teamwork, respect, and excellence for our students. I'd also like to thank you, the Board of Education, and the central office team for your continued support and outstanding leadership. This year, you will notice that we have continued on our journey with the strategic initiative and engaging students in rigorous and authentic learning experiences with the emphasis on integrating instructional technology. The purpose of this presentation is just to highlight some of our work and share some of the things that we've done this year so far. Given the limitations of time, I would also ask you to refer to the mid-year report and the portfolio that I shared with you in advance of the presentation. Every year, in all regards, we try to make forward progress with the things that we're doing. That's no different with our use and integration of instructional technology as part of student learning. Our Building Technology Committee is really an integral part of the planning and vision of our use of technology in the building, and it's also a great example of teacher leadership. As we look ahead, our plan to increase some of our hardware includes looking at the possibility of adding a mobile laptop cart to increase opportunities for flexibility in student learning. And also we're having continued conversations about expanding our iPad fleet, especially at the K-2 levels. That technology is somewhat recent, but we're seeing some great benefits to our students and opportunities for them to not only demonstrate their learning, but to create new things through the use of technology. We're looking at the possibility of using our building budget as an investment vehicle for purchasing some new devices. So we're always thinking about how is it that we can continue to grow our technology, get it into the hands of our students, help it to improve instruction, but help it to ultimately improve student learning. As many of you know, one of the highlights every year at Thornell Road is the Hour of Code. And this year we were very, very pleased to make it a truly school-wide event. For the very first time, we included students in kindergarten right through grade 5. And I'd like to thank a number of you and our central office team and Superintendent Puro for being with us that day and actually learning a little bit about coding with some of our students. This year we formed a new partnership with Xerox, the innovation team. As part of our kickoff, we were pleased to welcome Dr. Tong Sung from the Xerox Innovation Team, and she's also the director of the Scalable Data Analytics Research Lab as our guest presenter. And she shared with us how coding gets utilized in real-world applications, and she demonstrated for us how it gets used in facial recognition software. And the students found that very fascinating. So it was a great way to captivate their interest and enthusiasm prior to them actually getting into the Hour of Code for the following week. One of the important aspects of the Hour of Code is that students learn how to use problem solving, strategies to write code, and to achieve the desired result, and how coding is used to run various software programs. As I mentioned before, this year our official Hour of Code included students in kindergarten through grade 5, which we were very happy about. We also were privileged to welcome Mr. Matt Gosling from Mendon High School and his computer programming students. They joined us again and partnered with us during the event, and our students were able to work alongside the high school students throughout the use of throughout the Hour of Code. One of the comments that we heard over and over again from the high school students was, if we knew what they knew when we were there, we would be so much further ahead. So it's nice for us to hear, but it is kind of the way that we're going. So the opportunity to share this information with our younger students is very important to us. In addition to our special guests from the Board of Education and Superintendent Puro and other members of the central office team, Kate Munzinger from the Pittsburgh Town Board also joined us. So we're trying to make this more of not just a school event, but a truly community event where we can come together and learn from each other and really represent the future of education with regards to technology. Office 365, this year we are undergoing a pilot. At grade 5, we have teachers exploring the use of this platform, which includes Word, PowerPoint, Excel, OneNote, and OneDrive in a secured and monitored environment. Students use these tools to engage in writing and collaborative experiences and projects and for assessments. Some of these features are very, very impressive. They allow our students to receive feedback from the teachers or their peers in real time. As a student is working on a piece of writing or a project, the teacher can go in and see what's being done, provide feedback in the moment. The student can use that feedback to continue that work. Students can work together on the same project. They don't have to be in the same space, but they can be looking at the same document and contributing to it in a variety of ways. It's a very powerful platform. We're just getting started with it, but it's very exciting so far. Students are now using, in addition to PowerPoint presentations, they're exploring Sway, which is another platform for presentations. And we're looking at students, as I mentioned, collaborating in real time with other classrooms, not just within the building, but perhaps eventually across the district and opening up those opportunities for them as well. As the year progresses, we have other grade levels that are going to be using these tools. We are also looking at ways of looking at Office 365 and how it promotes staff collaboration and how it supports the collaborative team model that we've been working on for the last couple of years. We're planning an introductory training for some of our staff members on March 17th, the upcoming Superintendent's Conference Day, just as an opportunity to get them in grades 3 through 5, that opportunity to start to look at that and think about the possibilities. A great source of pride for me is seeing all of the ways in which our teachers and staff live out our mission statement, which really talks about putting teamwork, respect, and excellence for our students into action every day. They're really not just words, they are embedded in our culture. And this year we are continuing to strengthen our collaborative team practices that we began last year more formally, although they've been in practice for many years, not only within each grade level or department, but also between grade levels. This year, a primary focus is looking at our vertical alignment. So between the grade levels, the work that we've been looking at some of the essential learning targets, looking at how does our curriculum align K through 5, and what is our piece of that when we get to the students. So we're really looking at strengthening those aspects, and we've devoted a number of faculty meetings this year in order to support that work. One of the challenges during the typical school day is that the master schedule does not allow for teachers in different grade levels to be available at the same time. So we've been really working hard and trying to provide that opportunity for teachers during the staff meetings. And we'll also be doing the same thing in the upcoming March 17th Superintendent's Conference Day. That entire day is going to be devoted in one way or another to collaborative work, either between grade levels or within the grade level. The meetings are used to identify essential learning outcomes. We've been focusing on math and writing. We are also looking at district assessment data and using the information to plan for our student enrichment support during our win times, which, as you know, are now part of every day. So as part of our schedule, students have the opportunity to get support or enrichment every day for 40 minutes. So that's been a great opportunity for them as well. As a way to discuss, share, and highlight some of the work with you and highlight the strategic initiative and the next generation skills, this year we've again created a model lesson portfolio, which was included in your packets. And I would like to just take a moment just to summarize some of that work by each grade level. That focus really is on grade level collaboration and interdisciplinary learning. Our kindergarten team shared examples of monthly common writing prompts and a collaborative approach to writing instruction. Our first grade team shared a Families and Tradition interdisciplinary project that included student learning and connections between ELA, social studies, art, and library. And there are some examples of the student illustrations from that project that are hanging up in the boardroom this evening. Second grade shared an overview and examples from the Little Red Hen ELA unit. This is also an example of grade level collaboration which reflects a common approach to student learning. Our third grade team shared information about their mindfulness lessons as part of a grade level focus on student well-being. Students use strategies for relaxation, stress relief, reflection, and sustained attention to improve their learning. And this year we were privileged to have Kara Juzak serve as a consultant with the team. she came in and was able to do some co-planning and some co-teaching with the team, and the team is now taking over, so they are now facilitating that, and they're going to be working with their colleagues to share some of their learning as well. Our fourth grade team shared information about an interactive book project this year titled Honoring Those Who Serve. This interdisciplinary project includes examples of student learning in ELA, social studies, art, library, and technology. And as part of their investigation and research, our students are interviewing veterans from the Pittsford American Legion. And yesterday we started those interviews. And I have to tell you, it is a thrill for the veterans to work with our young people and for our young people to work with them. It is a very special relationship, and it's something that we've really come to appreciate and value deeply. In addition to the student writing and illustrating, they're going to be creating short videos from those interviews and using a specific app called Blipar. What that does is that when you hold a device if you capture the image that the students have illustrated, it actually brings up additional information, and what we're looking at doing is bringing up the interview videos from the veterans. So we're really excited about that, and it's really interesting technology, and I saw it used for the first time the other day. So it's very exciting, and I'd be excited to share the final project with you once that's completed. Our fifth grade team shared handmade penguins with a complimentary writing project with a community service component. Students created a handmade penguin with a complimentary writing piece to accompany it, and these penguins and writing pieces were donated to the Ronald McDonald House of Rochester. I'd like to share an excerpt from an email sent from Mrs. Adams, one of our fifth grade teachers. She received it from Leslie Lazar, a volunteer at the Ronald McDonald House, and it really captures the spirit of what we do and why we do it and the benefits of community service. And she writes, I volunteer at the Ronald McDonald House, and I noticed the penguins that your class made when I was there on Sunday. There was a little girl about 3 or 4 years old whose sister, who was 2 years old, was at the hospital receiving treatments for leukemia. She and her dad were getting ready to go up to the hospital to see her sister and her mom, who was staying bedside. She walked over to the shelf with your penguins and was looking at them. I asked if she would like a penguin, and she nodded yes with a smile. She picked out a penguin, and I gave it to her, but she didn't walk away. She kept looking at them. So I asked her if she would like to pick a penguin out to bring to her sister, and she said yes. So I picked out a second one for her sister, but she kept looking at them. Then she said, I want to pick one out for my mommy. And she said, of course you can. So she did. I wanted you and your class to know that 3 of your penguins are at Strong Hospital keeping a mom and her daughter company. Thank you so much for making them. So as I segue into our social emotional learning and community service portion, an integral part of our social emotional learning is focused on service to our community. Some of the community service opportunities in which our students have participated this year include food collections for the Pittsford Food Cupboard, the Coats for Kids Winter Clothing Drive. They also participated in creating a lockdown training video for the other Pittsford elementary schools, the Treats for Troops candy collection, making thank you cards for veterans and decorations for the Pittsford American Legion on Veterans Day. And I'd also like to thank the Board of Ed and the central office team members for bringing your donations for the Super Bowl of Kindness when you came to visit the other day. It was very generous. Thank you. Students also participated in weaving scarves in art class for a homeless outreach program in Rochester. There are some examples of the weaving projects that are in the back of the room this evening as well. We participated in the Great Bedtime Story Pajama Drive. Students visited the Ferris Hills at Westlake Senior Living Community. Again, the penguins and writing for the Ronald McDonald House of Rochester, and most recently a Develop Africa school supply collection to support the upcoming schools in the African continent. Excuse me. We place a high value on all of our community partnerships. It helps students to have a better sense of how we are all connected to each other as a community. And here are just a list of some of the community partnerships that enhance what we do for our students, our families, our friends, and our neighbors. So at our school, you hear us tell all the time, live the Thornell Road way, or what does it mean to live the Thornell Road way? Well, it means that we pursue excellence in learning and character. It means celebrating and honoring each other by being respectful, responsible, fair, trustworthy, and caring. It means giving our best inside and outside the classroom, even when no one is watching. So at this point, I'd like to again publicly thank the wonderful people at Thornell Road for all they do to care for our students and our families and each other. I'd like to also thank the Board of Ed and the central office team for your extraordinary leadership and support. And as always, I appreciate this time with you. Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks, Roger. Does anybody have any questions, comments? Thank you very much, Roger.
Great, thank you.
your staff as well.